You're listening to Necromancing the Dungeon, a soft-core TPRP podcast about heroes navigating their daily lives while looking for love in an underworld full of peril, monsters, and heart-eaters. This, isn't in death for mature audiences, and it contains gruesome themes. And yes, even sexy ones. Content warnings can be found in episode death descriptions. This is a Cage of Sand story created by Luciella Elizabeth Scarlett, and it's available on itch.io for anyone who's interested in playing. It can be played solo, or in our case, in a group. It's a time loop TTRPG played using tarot cards. It's violent, it's murdery, it's perfect for a Halloween special. And our players today will be collaboratively and collectively guiding one character, known as an avatar, through the story we're telling. And I'll be playing any of the other characters they pull from the deck and interact with as the loop continues and repeats until we decide to stop. The only time I won't be doing that is if I'm already playing an NPC, someone else at the table might jump in. It's very collaborative, it's very ensemble-y. The roleplay moments will feel like just little snippets of memories dipped in and out. There's not really going to be a beginning, middle, and end to scenes. It will just be, here's a sentence they say, here's what we hear. It's mostly prose, not a lot of dialogue, but we'll do our best. Are you a lonely, miserable, or just plain horrific? Well, you've taken the first steps to dissolving your phobias. At least your decapitating ones. Welcome to D8. Demented, damned, devilish, or decaying. Brave dares for decrepit demons. My name is Gauze Slay Curse. Hounder, CEO, and Love Wizard. And I dare you to tell me, haunt, harry, kill the heroes of Tezrab and that AJ fellow.
So I would probably...
Probably.
Halloween.
I would probably Harry Hephaestus. Because it's way more fun to annoy her, I think, than haunt her.
And you've killed her enough.
That's true.
Well, I didn't kill her. I would probably kill AJ. Think of the drama of
Oh, yeah.
True.
Yes.
True.
Yeah.
I'd also be so good in the underworld. They'd love me then.
I'm taking that back. If that's something to go by, no. And I'm probably going to haunt Nate.
Oh, you normally do a cool bit like, yeah, me too. You normally riff.
As God's coming on there.
I'm settling
Fully
in.
fleshed out character.
Yeah. What is their motivation? In a place the world has forgotten, halfway between neither here nor there, lies a small mountainside village known as Willowdell. Modest in size and sentimentality, a good place. It is home to a cozy cast of villagers, more than we'll meet in our story today, but not by many. If memory serves, Willowdell has recently found itself in good fortune. Here lies a large store of iron ore in the mountains nearby. Coupled with their surrounding woodlands, it is on the precipice of industry, but too small to really capitalize on this boom of good fortune. It must instead rely on the occasional traveling merchant to carry valuable goods, trading with larger cities quite a while away. And so it is here that our story takes place. We swoop and glide across the top of woodlands, seeing the village small below from the vantage point of a snowy owl. We're drawn into the village itself, circling past small farmyards, along the steep mountainsides to the southwest, over small valley paths across a river, past the smithy's forge and the butcher, and the old keep, drawn towards the sound of low rumbling singing in a temple that sits at the center of town. Morning bells chime, for although Willowdell is small, people take faith in the old gods, who, much like this village, have all but been forgotten. And so as this owl finishes its nightly hunt and returns home to the temple, we see it swoop into a gap in the roof, nestled in the awnings, looking down on a majestic stained glass window, which twinkles in the morning light as the brothers continue their ritual. It's with this chanting, not too far away, that you, singularly you, awake from a nightmare you can't recall. You wake with a disturbing sense of déjà vu. You encounter strangers you seem to already know. You sense that there is something important you're forgetting. You can only hope you'll remember this. And the curtain rises on Cage of Sand by Luciella Elizabeth Scarlett. So let's start our morning. We've done, for the audience listening to this, we've done our kind of prep of pulling the cards, the morning ritual, the characters we're going to meet in the game today. And we're kind of just dramatizing or audio playing this game more than actual playing it. This is way more of a narrative than an actual play example of how Cage of Sand works. And so, as Gray, a recent, what would you say? A recent blow into the town, a traveling bard, a handy person around, often tasked with fixing fences or checking on pipes or doing anything any of the villages they travel to might need. So Gray, them wake up. They are an Air Ganassi, and I'll go in the we're going to go around the table. This is a loop, but we're also doing a sort of clockwork spotlight here. So Dahi, what do you think Gray looks like when they wake up? And you're staying in a sort of accommodation nearby. Actually, if you wanted to, you could stay in that kind of awning of the temple up in a sort of loft space, looking down on the brothers singing, or it can be in a separate accommodation, whatever.
I think the loft space makes sense. I think it's kind of cool. It's kind of main character vibes, very main character energy. I think waking up, because like they do wake up after this unsettling dream that they don't remember, they're kind of a little frazzled and a little kind of like startled awake almost. And the first thing they think of is like, oh no, I need to get ready. And so they'll kind of start their morning routine of getting ready for the day and getting their tools ready. Yeah,
you check and you have a small kind of pouch of woodworking tools, instrument carving tools, things that to an uneducated in this field person, kind of hooks and waxes and sharp pieces of wire, they look kind of menacing. The type of things that you hook into the body of a violin and pull and scrape and kind of carve out wood. They're sharp. Your tools are there, and as you're inspecting them, you look to the stained glass window, which your awning overlooks, and you see it's beautiful from the inside. It feels bright enough outside today. It's a cold winter morning. And you've been staying here a couple of nights. You've gotten to know a couple of people around the town. They've gotten to know you. And as you look out towards this window, it's just this beautiful scene. You can't really put your finger on it, but it seems to be this story of two people who fell in love, fell out of love, and then the world suffered because of it. And in the very center of this stained glass feature is this heart made of individual pieces, all sort of shattered and reflecting in light.
I think part of their morning, as well as they go to prepare to get these tools ready, they're kind of humming to themselves, maybe a love song that they don't quite remember, but they know the melody.
We'll move the spotlight around. So that's kind of the first thing, is checking the tools. I was about to say Fia. Louise! What is the next?
AJ.
What is the next step of Gray's morning routine?
Well, after checking their tools, I think the next thing that they're going to do is walk over to the wash basin and stare at the little makeshift mirror that they've put up for themselves to be able to check their face, their hair, and all that first thing in the morning. And slowly take off their nightcap that they use to keep their hair in place and as presentable and easy to maintain in the morning as possible. And just start with washing their face and brushing their hair.
For both myself and the audience, as a Air Ganassi, remind us, what does Grey look like? How tall? What's their kind of general? Are they young? Are they old? Paint us a little picture of who this avatar is.
So I believe they're just gone beyond young adult at this stage in their life. Very much matching their name, grey skinned. I think lighter grey hair then to match with that. That does seem to kind of move gently to its own breeze.
Well, and Amber, after kind of prettying themselves up, preparing, putting their face on, checking their tools, is there any final ritual or activity that Grey takes part in to start their day?
Yeah, they're here by choice, but they're not at the same time. Like, they're just trying to keep going. But the real goal here is to be a performer, to be, musicians. So they never leave the house without kind of manifesting that by just picking up the lute, playing a little tune, a little something. Just letting that little bit of magic even kind of flow through them, not necessarily doing anything specific with it, but just kind of reconnecting to that part of themselves. So they always do that before they step out the door.
Nice. As you're kind of humming, as you climb down the ladder from the loft, as you see Brother Woodford, some of the acolytes, something at the back of your mind, just sort of the hairs at the back of your neck, it's like the owl kind of came in, rustled and settled in for the day. I think I'm right in thinking owls are nocturnal, if Don Conroy
Correct,
taught me
yeah.
anything.
He's there, he's one of the brothers.
He's just painting an owl in the corner. It's almost like a shadow flip past the roof. And you look and nothing's there. And it might have been that you were humming, or like a little kind of burst of dust as you slid down with a little pep in your step. But it brings us to our first. So the way this game works for anyone listening for the first time is there's the setup stage, the morning. That is usually always the same until the loop becomes apparent. Then there's a couple of minor and major interactions, which leads us towards the kind of crux of the game, which is when horror and murder begins. And then a kind of end event that resets the loop. So we'll move into Act 2, the first of the minor interactions. And Declan, can you pull a card from the deck of characters to see who we come across first?
It's Felix, our Goliath blacksmith.
Nice. You make your way through the town. You hear some people kind of whispering and chatting in small little groups looking towards the mountainside. You're picking up things like, yeah, there's guards in the area, or increased presence. I think they're here to collect taxes, maybe, or I don't know. Someone's very important is with them. And the town is on edge, and you do overhear well, they're not staying with me. Where could they be staying? They're not staying with me anyway. As you head in the clouds, perhaps, bump directly into this Goliath. You also pulled a prompt card. What was the prompt?
It's the King of Swords in reverse.
The King of Swords in reverse.
Yep.
This Goliath bumps into you carrying a load of... they're carrying their tools, their equipment, they're making their way towards the forge, and they clang into you. Whoa! Watch where you're going.
Excuse me?
Eyes to what's around you.
You bumped into me. I was going this way, and Grey is just kind of just gesturing in the path. So if you are going to lollygag in the middle of the path, I suggest you remove yourself.
Whatever. Too busy to deal with whatever this is today. I have to get my best wares out.
A couple of sheets of metal and a couple of hammers, I guess.
Some of the finest weaponry, swords, arrowheads, from the recent finding of ore and iron, to sell to the cities and make this town something.
I think Grey would kind of maybe like at that, like he's not, I think it's kind of when you're like knocked out of a daydream and they don't want to kind of admit that they walked into. So it's now kind of taking that sort of like, well, the best defense here is offense. And I'm not going to back down. I think might like, you know, snatch like one of the arrowheads or something, kind of like hold it up, kind of, and give it kind of a keen eye, and kind of I think might even press on it between their kind of index finger and their thumb. Not that sharp, but I suppose, you know, if you keep at it, maybe jack of a trade, master, and he's just going to kind of pop it in and kind of then maybe kind of like half sidestep around him.
Yeah. Where do you think Grey, where are they headed?
Right now, they're looking to get, if I kind of see it as the brothers are maybe fasting kind of in the morning, into the afternoon. That doesn't work for Grey. So Grey is now kind of maybe on their way to look to fill their belly before they start the day, because you can't start the day on an empty stomach.
And you're probably making your way towards the tavern.
It's general area.
Yeah, and it's such a small, Willowdell is so small. It's not even known as, like, there's no fancy, like, the King's Rest, the Worm's Ear. It is simply... I
thought you were going to say the King's Rectum first.
King's Ass.
No, they changed it to the King's Anus.
Yeah. The Queen's Taint. It's just Partock's place.
Okay.
And Dahi, if you wouldn't mind pulling a second minor interaction.
I will. So, very fun. So I pulled the character Dolores, who is our blacksmith's wife, who's a halfling. And our interaction card is the King of Cups.
King of
Upright.
Cups. The road takes you towards the tavern, takes you past the forge. And you look in, and it's not necessarily a moment of conversation, but you see Dolores pulling a sheet over a pile of ore and tucking it away in a corner. Not necessarily. You catch them hiding some of their wares. You piece it together because there is a tax collector in town, because we have Montgomery, the tax collector, and we also have Archibald, sort of de facto lord of the area. Everything seems to be in a bit more of a tizzy today. Activity. People are kind of putting on their Sunday best as if they're welcoming a procession to the town, or at least there's rumors of it.
I think Grey does have a thought as they walk past, just say, Jesus, am I going to run into the whole family or what? And then she's going to very much sidestep her on purpose.
But this is apt. I pull the barmaid, Nessie.
Yes.
The Two of Cups.
Two of Cups. You make your way to Partock's place and start hammering on the door. Boom, 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 boom. It's early enough for a tavern. You might be, if there was a type of place where people would stay, where travelers would kind of take lodgings, you'd be waking them up. And the door creaks open, and you see Nessie, who is a dwarf, look up at you. Morning.
Hiya. Got a room for someone to have a bite to eat?
Bit early, and we're a bit busy. What would...
Oh, Anthony got, like, because the brothers are fasting. They've nothing going on up there.
If you wouldn't mind cleaning up after yourself, or...
I suppose, okay.
Well, come on in. She opens it up. It's a small, it's almost like a living room that's been turned into a bar. There's like nice, cozy couches. Everything's a little bit hodgepodge, and it's all a little bit kind of unusual, not matching furniture. There's a fireplace. You can see that it was lit last night. And she goes behind the bar and goes, I could do some dry meats straight away, or perhaps would you like me to cook up some breakfast for you? How are you intending on paying?
I kind of pat my pockets. I'm sure there's a few coins floating around.
Put it on the tab?
Yeah, if you wouldn't mind. And I'm walking and waving my hand back behind me in agreement, and then to just kind of almost side sit along one of the couches and sprawl myself a little.
Nice.
Treating it more like a chaise lounge than a couch.
Yes, yeah, fair. Nessie busies themselves preparing the tavern, and they're kind of talking to themselves, but talking in the way that someone will like have a conversation with you, but they're clearly just having a conversation with themselves. Like, some big news, huh? Yeah, what with the king coming about and wanting to know about our little town, and probably the think someone told them about the ore, obviously, so that's very exciting. What do you think about it? I mean, it's our ore, obviously, so what do you think? I think we should be allowed to keep it. I don't even know who told them about it, really. But I suppose it is the king. Not that they have any jurisdiction here. I mean, we're outside of the kingdom, so...
Do you think he'd be in want of entertainment while he's here?
Oh, I'm sure he would. He loves entertainment.
Oh, that's good. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not really worried about the rest.
Right, well, and then a lovely morning kind of stewed oats with caramelized apples, a little bit of cinnamon. It's basic, but it's well put together. As Nessie goes, we haven't had a lot coming in and out of the town, so a little bit scarce on... scarce, how do you say that in common? A little bit scarce on, some of the fancier things, but hopefully with our good fortune, this town could be on the up. People will know what Willowdell is.
They sure will.
You eat, relax, time passes.
Boy, howdy.
This place is great.
As we come to our major interactions, there are two, which is nicely kind of set around our table.
Okay, so we got Partok the Barkeep.
Oh. Fitting.
And the prompt is the Seven of Swords.
The Seven of Swords. The character is going to make an unreasonable request for your avatar's help.
Oh, gosh.
Oh, we're already annoyed as
Oh.
a group.
Can I at least finish my food?
Quite great. It's Grace's turn.
Sorry, I just got that. Shut up, Grace.
It's very Venom, like we are Venom.
Shut up, Gray. Grace speaking.
Quite, Gray. Good one, Gray.
Got him, Gray.
So, Partok is a half-orc. Comes out to you. You were talking to Nessie there.
Yep.
You're a bard, are you?
Yep.
Used to danger on the road?
I mean, a bit, yeah, sure. Sometimes you gotta fight off a few assholes.
Do you want some coin?
Maybe? Why?
We have a shipment of meats to get out of the town.
Okay.
If you pick it up tomorrow, it might make noise as you're moving it, but as long as you see nothing, say nothing, and get this north as soon as possible, could be 3 gold in it for you.
For 4 gold, I'll guarantee it gets there safely.
You have yourself a deal.
Shit. All right, thank you. And they hold out their hand to shake on it.
Yeah, and this half-orc shakes your hand and gives you a gold coin.
Okay.
1 up front, 3 when you return safely.
Fair.
As a group, but mainly with Amber leading, because time can pass, what would Gray's reaction to that be?
I think very bold up front, but a little bit shook inside.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
yeah, very like, yeah, of course I can do that. Yeah, whatever. Yeah, and then
underneath.
like, oh shit, like what's gonna make noise? Why is the meat making noise? That's just called a cow. Like, what are you talking about?
The meat's making noise. It must be. It's beef.
It's a cow. It's boof. It's boof. That meat's always making noise. No, I agree.
Yeah.
I think confident with an inside of fuck.
Yeah, what did I just get myself into?
What
but
is
like
this?
really
Yeah.
need the
But
money.
also, I need the money.
yeah.
Yeah.
Also, it's not repairing stuff. So
Yeah,
thank
not
God
my
it's
usual
something
difference,
different.
but also, yeah.
And I heard bards do this kind of thing, right? They like
Yeah.
adventure and shit.
Yeah.
Let's say a little bit of time has passed. You've wasted away your afternoon knowing that there's money coming in tomorrow. There's no real need to get around to that fence or get around to helping anyone else out, carrying groceries for little sweet old ladies. This will have you set for months.
Yeah. Oh, that's same. I'm sorry, you said carrying groceries for sweet old ladies, and we all went, ugh. Like, you went audibly, ugh, and I saw Declan go, and I kind of went like, ugh. Like,
Yeah, the most horrifying thing of all, AJ's personality.
Kind people.
I love how we're
Gross.
doing our best to just be an asshole too. Sorry.
I
No,
think
no.
it's that sort of like lazy asshole.
Yeah.
We're not mean. We're just
It's selfish.
Selfish.
Yeah.
Selfish. Declan, could you pull our next major interaction for this day?
Oh, it's with Archibald, the landlord,
Mm.
Wow, the Page of Cups.
and It's the 8 of Pentacles
Oh.
8 of Pentacles.
in reverse.
How
but it's
appropriate.
Yeah,
Pentacles,
it is.
yeah.
The character gives your avatar a gift, or your avatar gives them a gift. Well, I think we
Oh,
know which
yeah.
one of these.
We're obviously giving a gift. Obviously, we're so
Yeah.
I think it's
Gimme.
Does Gray carry around any visual clues that they might be a bard, a performer? Is it always that there's...
Oh, yeah.
I think if
At least like a flute. Or
yeah, but I think
Mm.
it's sort of a small little like it's like a little harmonica almost thing, but it's on a chain.
Hmm.
So it is that thing of like if they are walking on the road, you can't like that thing of the bard playing the lute as they walk and stuff like that. Well, you have to have eyes, but I think it's that small little thing that they can kind of blow into. It's like a little bit bigger than a whistle, we'll say, but it is there. It's on a chain, and it might even be that thing of like kind of reflexively as they're pondering or like walking, and I think maybe as they're trying to get their thoughts, it is just maybe playing a little bit of music to themselves.
kind of like even like an ocarina type.
Oh,
Yes.
yeah.
Small
Yeah.
miniature ocarina.
Yeah.
As you're lazing about the village, it's small enough. You could walk around it easy within 20 minutes. You're kind of bored. You hear a clicking.
Oh.
You there? Kid? Hello, kid? You there?
Oh, sorry. Are you looking for somebody?
Yes, you.
Oh, it's just I couldn't hear you over all the clicking. You could try with hello.
Yes. Hello. Welcome to Willowdell. Lovely. About to be even lovelier. Because, as you know, we're now rich. Like, not rich like me, but the town is now rich. So, my little investment, it's paying off. They've found ore. Iron ore.
I'm just going to. Who are you?
Who am I? I'm Archibald. You can call me Archie. And I don't need to know who you are. I just need to know that you can help me because I have a gift for you. A job. If you could find some talent, some performers, some revelry, what I have done is...
Archibald.
Archie. Yes.
You can... I don't mean to interrupt, but allow me. I bring you a gift.
Oh,
The gift of me.
you know someone.
I am someone.
You're no one.
No. Allow me, and I think we'll take out the ocarina and
Oh, a child's toy. Lovely.
Oh, show 'em up, Gray. Show 'em up, Gray. Go on, Gray.
and is just going to like just roll their neck and like a very audible click sound, and as they do, just sort of with their hands, because it's always in the hands. There is just an element of like showmanship and kind of trying to distract Archibald with these as they conjure Mage Hand. And now the ocarina is floating, and Gray will literally dance with it. It's like it's as the Mage Hand moves, they are spinning, they're moving, it's almost like they're dancing with an unseen servant.
Can I suggest something too? As an air genasi, they've got a little bit of flow with the wind around them, so they have that play the ocarina.
Yes.
While the Mage Hand like works the
I
ocarina,
love that.
the wind around them plays it
Blows
for
through,
them, so they
yes.
don't have to, so they can dance alongside.
But I think even
Fancy.
then, occasionally, then their voice will match
Yes.
sound.
Lovely.
They're not quite singing; it's more kind of that humming thing. There's a kind of a harmony between Gray's voice and the notes being played on the ocarina by the wind, and it is that thing of like there's a sharp, shrill sound that kind of cuts through it, and as the ocarina kind of spins up with the wind, it's the Mage Hand, but it levitates right into Gray's hand at the end, and it's like, there's no need for applause. You're welcome.
Archibald applauds anyway, but like a spoilt, like, oh, goody, yes, goody, yes, very good, yes. That will do. That'll be quite impressive. Wow. And you do that all, you learned that yourself. And there's a career in that. Wow. Well, it's hard because as you spun, and as you were kind of in this town center where the temple was, you saw the glass window. That same shadow from earlier, you just see it disappear. And you always see behind a curtain nearby just flicker and shut close. It seemed like a couple of hands were just kind of peeking out. You were attracting some attention of the town, but no one wants to be anywhere near Gray. Obviously, it's not Archie.
No.
It's not the man baby.
Yes.
No.
It's the blowaway.
It's the baby man. It's the baby man. I think Gray has it's that I'm grinning, I'm smiling, but my teeth are grinding inside my head. It's that,
And the smile does not reach the eyes.
We're not smizing.
No, and there's very much kind of a think of the money. So, Archie, you are obviously in need of an entertainer such as myself, and you have the budget, the means to.
Oh, don't talk about something as crude as money. This town is going to be swimming in it.
I like to dip my toes in first, though, just to make sure,
500? 1,000? What do you normally get paid?
And there is a hard swallow, kind of a 500 usually, kind of for the first.
Well, this is a very important event, so if I gave you 1,000, would you do your best job? A little better than that, but
All the voices are furiously nodding, like, yes, please, yes.
Archibald, I think Gray is actually nodding and trying to be cool, but the whole time going, oh my God.
Yeah.
All of us are nodding, so Gray's like, wait, hold on.
Oh, Gray, stop.
A unison of Grays. Yes.
Archibald, I think, given the importance of the performance and the need for it really to bring all of this together, you and I are acquainted now. 1,000 should. All right, mates rates. Okay, 1,000, and I think he's going to put out a hand, the same hand that he used to shake Partox out to Archibald.
Great. So tomorrow during the day, let you in on a little secret. You're going to be performing for royalty. It's very exciting. The king is coming here, and we're going to show off the town, unveil the iron ore, and set up a little deal where we send a little bit to them, a little bit up to our neighbours to the north, just kind of disperse the wealth around. But we're going to now be the centre of commerce for the mountain thoroughpass between two major cities in the world.
I'm sorry, you lost me at 1,000 gold pieces. That's wonderful.
Yes. If you could keep the how wealthy we are on the hush.
Yes, I can do that for you.
Whoever controls this iron mine sort of controls all weaponry. So it's quite strong stuff.
1,000 gold.
1,000 gold.
There's nothing. There's
1,000 gold.
nothing else in Gray's ears other than 1,000 gold. 1,000 gold.
Which brings us to our inciting event. So if Dai, if you wouldn't mind pulling a card.
Okay, we have the 9 of Wands.
A letter or a phone call. This is what heralds the beginning of Act 3, which is where everything kind of turns in this game. I'm going to say that the letter isn't for Gray.
Okay.
But you hear kind of the riding of horses. One horse, yeah.
Horse?
Horse?
1,000 gold, 1,000 gold. Horse? What are we?
We're the seagulls from Finding Nemo.
Mine.
You hear a horse galloping through the center of the village, followed by more horses, as you almost have to dive out of the way, as from the back of the forge, you see Felix's wife, Dolores? Dolores. Take off.
On a horse?
On a horse with a little cart, and you can hear the rattling of things in the back, followed by 3 other characters who you're sort of looking at going, I think I know them. I'm almost certain I know them, but I can't place them. I met them before. I don't know. They seem to be with bundles in tow, making a break north. And they roll out of town. And you see Felix look, holding a letter in his hand. And he throws the letter into the fire of the forge, staring after his wife.
Ooh.
Archie doesn't seem to notice he's yammering on to himself.
To himself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
I love the idea that we just walked away and he just kept going. Like, just kept talking about how well
Rich,
the town's
yeah.
going to do. Yeah.
We're like, okay.
you make your way
1,000 gold backstory stuff.
back to the temple to plan your performance for tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
And it's on your way back that we begin Act 3. Which is where we start pulling people who die. That's fun.
Yay!
Okay.
We put back in the other names
Yes.
that we met, don't we?
Over to you, Amber.
Do you want to hold them, Louise, because you're drawing the first one?
Yeah.
Up to you whether you want to draw 1 or 2 or 3.
How many bodies do we want?
Let's do a 2. 3 felt
do
like a
2,
lot
is it?
in the practice run. Let's
Yeah.
do 2.
Yeah, let's do 2 to start.
2 is a good number.
Yeah. Nice,
Okay.
even number of bodies.
Unfortunately, the first one that we encounter is Tabitha, our retired tabaxi performer.
Oh, no. She's probably the only person in town we liked.
I know. What a queen.
Mm-hmm.
Even with her insistence of educating us.
Mm.
Oh, and we have found Montgomery, the tax collector.
Oh,
Ooh.
Interesting.
okay.
So if you could just pull a prompt card for me.
The 9 of Swords.
The 9 of Swords. The killer leaves obvious signs of the cause or time of death.
Step, 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 step.
I think it's clear. I think throats have been slit.
Mm.
And there's no. It's a very, very clean cut. It's not.
High quality weaponry, some would say.
I think so. Yeah.
Some might say.
Some might say that.
Some might say high quality weaponry.
Some might say 1,000 gold.
Sorry.
If I could, neither Tabitha or Montgomery looked like they knew what was about to happen.
Yeah.
There was an advantage here.
Yeah,
They rolled
yeah.
with it, obviously.
Sneak attack.
As
Get out of here, Fia.
you make your way over the river back towards the temple, you look down into you see the sparkling of river water on a cold winter's morning, and it reminds you of how rich you're going to be, until you see that trickle of red making its way down the stream. You know you shouldn't. Everything in your body tells you, just leave it, you're going to be rich. 1,000 gold. Until you see a foot in the reeds sticking out. You look a little closer, and both Tabitha and Montgomery are dead.
Tabby.
Throats slit and loosely stuffed into the reeds of the riverbank. A little bit further up the river. You've kind of left the town towards the woodlands. We need more people to die. So if you wouldn't mind pulling 1 or 2 or 3.
Oh, we have Woodford, one of the brothers of the temple.
Oh,
Half
no.
elf.
And we've Nessie, the barmaid.
Nessie, no.
So, the Ace of Wands.
The Ace of Wands. The time or cause of death or the identity of the victims is hidden.
Maybe at this point it's peripheral and you don't want to look. Like, we've seen the 2.
True.
We don't really want to get
See
more
more.
involved. So,
Yeah.
like, there's definitely something going on over there, and we're just going to kind of turn our head away.
I'm going to say seeing 2, seeing 4 freaks you out a little bit, and you take into a sprint back towards your room in the temple. And it's on that sprint back that you hear someone in a house nearby go,
Is it me?
Yeah.
Is it me? Am I the grey? Sorry. Yes? Yeah. And then I think they'll kind of run towards them and not try to make too much noise, I guess.
They bundle you into their living room.
What is happening in this freaky little town?
It's dark. It's hard to see who they are. It's hard to even place it. It's the window that you saw earlier, the curtain twitcher. And they back their way into corner. Come no closer. Come no closer.
Oh, okay. Why did you pull me in here?
Because you're not from here. This doesn't concern you.
That's why I was running away.
What did you plan? With Willowdell?
Well, I mean, look, I just want to make music, and I just wanted to be paid the 1,000 gold that I was offered to play music. I don't know this place. Who are you?
That's not for you to know.
Okay. Oh my god.
Make your peace today.
What does that mean?
I see truths. I tangled with the wrong, powerful being, and now all I see is truth. And at that, light passes through, and you see a gigantic spider web behind this person as they are against the wall, and they seem to have been somewhat cursed or transformed into a shape arachnid-esque.
Ooh.
The web is covered. There's not an inch of it that isn't just absolutely white. I see it all. I see everything. And today's the day.
Oh, that's great. And I'm looking for the door handle.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's really lovely. And if I find it, I bolt the hell out of there.
Leave out of there. Let's pull another victim.
No, Dolores.
I didn't like her.
And
What?
prompt
I didn't
for
say
how they die.
Wait.
And a prompt.
Yes.
She was running away on the cart.
You get a flash of running down the road out of town north. You're not currently doing it, but you are feeling like I have run. You were imagining what it would be like if you ran out of town. And in that imagining and in that memory, could you call it a memory? You see you don't see a cart. You don't see a horse. You just see Dolores pinned to a tree with the sharp arrowhead from a shaft. A dead shot. As if they were just taken off and the horse and cart have bolted continue, but they've just been and they're tumbled into the ditch. But you're not there in this loop. Just something in your mind goes, they're watching the roads north. You run back towards the temple and you walk into the kind of open congregation room. I wish I knew churchy things. The big room where everyone sits in the pews.
Yeah.
The church.
Yeah.
The hall of it.
Yeah, because you said we're staying kind of over, like we're like in the loft.
Yes.
I think I might be climbing the ladder and like get to my room, get my stuff, and get the hell out of here. And I'm not going north. It's I think maybe halfway up the ladder. It's just that out of the corner of their eye, they without having to even look at it fully, they literally see a body in two parts there, and they just keep walking. They keep climbing, and it's just that just focus on the top of the loft and one hand in front of the other, one leg on the rung, and keep climbing.
It is up near the altar where you find this body in two parts underneath that stained glass window, with a ladder collapsed to the side. That they were trying to do something, but were killed in the process. It is at this moment in time, as you grab your tools, as you grab your instruments, that a loud, deafening boom rattles through the village, followed swiftly by the thundering of what sounds like 1,000 hooves trampling towards you. In your final moments, you hear a voice somewhere in the courtyard scream out, AJ, please help me before your world turns deathly white on the stained glass window. Before we start our next loop, Declan, will you make me a wisdom saving throw with advantage? You can add +2 to this.
My wisdom is so much higher than that, though.
I know, but AJ's isn't.
Oh. Nat 20.
Nat 20.
Ooh.
You feel your head thumping. Ba-dum, ba-dum, ba-dum. You are hanging upside down, chained to a cobblestone wall. 3 blank, expressionless faces stare back at you wearing pearly white masks. There are 2 jet black dots and a simple straight line, but to you this seems upside down. They're floating, almost circling around each other in your blurred vision. One of them is chanting, humming. Arcane energy crackles around them. From somewhere in the darkness behind them, a voice says, "Good. Again. Why don't you tell us what really happened?" And we'll start our loop again.
Oh, I didn't like that.
I did not like that.
I loved it. Do it again.
In a place the world has forgotten, halfway between neither here nor there, lies a small mountain-sized village known as Willowdell. Modest in size and sentimentality, a good place, it is home to a cozy cast of villagers, more than we'll meet in the story today, but not by many. If memory serves, Willowdell has recently found itself in good fortune, for here lies a large store of iron ore in the mountains nearby. Coupled with the surrounding woodlands, it is on the precipice of industry, but too small to really capitalise on this boom of good fortune. It must instead rely on the occasional travelling merchant to carry valuable goods, trading with the larger cities quite a while away. And so it was here that our story begins. We swoop and glide across the top of the woodlands, seeing the village small below from the vantage point of a snowy owl. We're drawn into the village itself, circling past small farmyards and along steep mountainsides to the southwest, over small valley paths across a river, past a smithy's forge, and the butcher, drawn towards the sound of low rumbling, singing in a temple that sits at the centre of town. Morning bells chime, for although Willowdell is small, the people take faith in the old gods, who much like this village have all been but forgotten. You wake with a disturbing sense of déjà vu. You encounter strangers you seem to already know. You sense that there is something important you're forgetting. You can only hope you remember this.
Could I suggest that Gray, for some reason, now notices the abundance of cobwebs in where they're staying, and it's just like, why am I noticing these? Like, why would I notice these? The abundance of these like webs like across the top of the room.
I think if they're
No, you can't actually.
No. That's a no.
Fair.
I think for me, it's the hiding of the ore. Dolores' curious actions. I think that's what I want to stick with me from the day before. That's what I want to recall.
Can I pitch? A third
Yeah, of
thing?
course.
No.
No, you do like this.
Shut up.
A secret third thing.
No, Gray, no.
Because I actually like that getting the kind of the ick from those for no like they're spiderwebs.
Like they've been here forever,
but it's why am I unsettled with them? And I like kind of the idea of Dolores. But if there's one thing I think we've established about Gray it was the money. And if the first thing they do is they're going to go for their instruments and stuff, it's going to be the ocarina, I think. And it's oh God, it's today. And they know that today is the day that they're going. They feel it in their bones.
Today's the day I make my big
and
break.
they have no idea. But it's 1,000 kind of rings. It's literally the way we said they woke up and they were humming. It's that like
they're humming maybe that same tune they played the day before.
Yeah, and it's
today.
Yeah.
I think they've always been, it's always the same song. The one they perform to Archibald, the one that they're humming to themselves.
Yeah.
But it's different. In the morning, it's like chipper, it's happy. It's not performing it, it's humming it out of like...
It's the joy of it. Like
it's humming it out of excitement.
Yeah.
And we, in the first loop, we don't know why we're excited.
Yeah.
But now, there's a reason, but we don't know the exact reason, but we know there's a reason to be excited for today.
So we're waking up happy?
I think what's sticking with us is the feeling of like today's the day. Like this I'm finally gonna get my big. Like you wake up every morning and you think this is it. I'm gonna do it. But today you wake up and you're like, this is it.
Yeah.
Louise, will you roll me a d20?
Oh God,
no.
Poor Louise.
13.
A 13.
13. You wake up one day, cobwebs creep you out. You wake up another day, something about the money sticks with you. You wake up a day, and it's today is the day. You wake up and you've met Asriel, the merchant. You wake up and you've had conversations with the tax collector, Montgomery. But you wake up and today's the day. No, you wake up and what were you saying about when you wake up? Dolores. Something about the ore. No one knows this place. What ore? What ore are you talking about? You wake up and you start your morning routine.
I don't like this. Is this what I do to Yi all the time? Because I don't like this. It's not nice when it's thrust upon you.
I'm not even in the room, and yes, when you record, and yes.
This isn't the second loop. The one we just played wasn't the first loop. But yeah, how would you like to start your morning routine today, knowing that every day for the last who knows how many days you've checked your tools, you've checked your instrument, you've washed your face?
I think their hand just kind of grazes their tools and their instrument, and they walk over to look at themselves in the makeshift mirror that they have, and like really trying to look nearly into their brain to see what is going on.
Behind you, twinkling in brilliant stained pink, the glint of that heart catches your eye, and there's a part of it, it's like shading, that's just jet black.
I turn around and look at it closer and try to remember if that was there before.
As far as you know, it's there. You're kind of up in your awnings, you're looking out, the brothers, the acolytes are singing and humming, and below the bell is ringing. It's hard to concentrate, but you're looking at it and you can see around this church, some of the windows are small little scenes, sitting in a glade or under a tree. The early blossomings of love, the strength that love brings you, how two people can be elevated, and then right in the center, split either side. And it's the first time you're noticing that the scenes all to the left, there's a woman predominantly in them, and the scenes all to the right, a man. But there, right there, just slightly to the right, in a corner of shading, is a shard of black.
Great. I think then that I completely broken out of my ritual of the morning. I just throw on my clothes, go down the ladder and get out the door. Just going into town to genuinely look around at what's going on.
Nice. Let's start some happy-go-lucky roleplay. Let's pull some minor interactions.
Not comfortable.
So first I run into Dareth.
And Dareth is for people listening, is kind of a guard captain of the town. They have a sword at their side. They have a sort of hunting bow on their back. And they go, "Oh, good morning. You're new in town."
Yeah, by a couple of days, yeah.
You haven't noticed anyone, obviously with you being new, anyone else new in the town?
Nobody newer than 2 days? Nope.
Yeah,
No.
Didn't think so.
No.
If you do notice anyone who's up to no good or maybe kind of causing unrest, would you let me know?
That kind of feels like your job, but sure.
Yeah, fair. If you do, I'm just staying up by the southwest. There's a little camp there. Okay.
Right, won't forget that.
He jogs off towards the woods. This time, you see Felix coming towards you carrying tools and weaponry and swords, but your eyes are up.
They are, and they're also on something that I don't know if I'm allowed to do this, so tell me if I'm
100%. In this game, like as much as I'm DMing, and we kind of all know the conceit in a way now. Everyone add whatever they need. To...
If he's holding something and I walked into his back, I think Gray's going to try and mage hand that letter. Like, just it's that thing of he's distracted. His hands are busy. And I think might even bump in, but while I'm doing that, the mage hand is searching.
Yes.
It's kind of I like the idea that it's not even searching for a letter. It's like I know he has something that I need to know about.
Yes.
There's something here and I want to know.
He's wearing one of those sort of blacksmith aprons, big pockets, easy to slip a mage hand in and take a letter out. It is, you see, I presume you kind of duck around a corner, sneaky read a letter stuff.
Oh yes. Felix, I'm so sorry. Look at you carrying your sharp things, and just kind of like all hands, and then hands up, and then kind of scooting down,
mage hand behind your back with the
letter,
letter.
And then kind of down behind like a house.
You see on official headed paper an order for a large amount of iron ore, with notes. As you kind of scan through, you're kind of picking up little pieces of information. There is a new company set up in a place called Kappa's Anvil in Galeshire, looking for the mass manufacturing of weapons, and hoping for exclusive rights to the ore in Willowdell. It's written in that sort of legalese that's vaguely threatening. It doesn't ever say or else, but there is very much an implication that
Of or else.
this is ours. What else would that letter say? I think that's pretty much, yeah.
Okay.
You get the gist.
To the point.
Yeah.
Me?
You.
Little old me?
Little old you.
Little old me. Funny, we speak of tax collectors. Montgomery, the tax collector.
I'll give you a choice in that you don't have to. These minor interactions are meant to just reveal kind of seemingly innocuous or details about it. Because you've sort of bundled away to read this letter, you see Montgomery. So you can kind of watch what they're up to.
Yeah,
if you want.
I think that's a good idea. We'll
Yeah.
watch them. I think Montgomery is talking to Dolores.
Ooh.
And Montgomery is collecting from Dolores. And she is handing him some sort of very like official document. But we know that Dolores has something else going on. So, and when we have that feeling, we see Dolores, we see the tax collector, we see the letter, we're like, something is up with her. Something is going on with her. Why was I thinking about her this morning? And I see her with this collector, and I've this letter. Like it's all these like clues that don't make any sense. So I think it's Dolores.
How do we as a group feel? Obviously, Montgomery is a tax collector for this town who would be employed by Archibald and Archibald's family, not necessarily by anyone in Galeshire, not necessarily with anyone in Visage. This town is far enough away. It's theoretically not in anyone's jurisdiction. There's no right for either side to claim here. It's in the middle of the Dragonbacks Mountain.
Our perception of Montgomery has changed through the loops. So at the start we thought, oh, he's some weirdo tax collector. All he sees is looking for money. But now we see he's actually helping the community. In a certain way. I like that our perceptions of characters are actually changing throughout the loops too. But like we've always thought this about Montgomery. Yeah, he was kind of a stand-up guy. But
Yeah,
we've always thought that.
Yeah.
He was never a weirdo who's just running around collecting money.
Yeah.
We never thought that.
No, you never thought that.
No.
As you hear from behind you by the house.
It's not your turn yet.
You're beginning to see the truth. This is a helpful person who just happens to...
I like him.
He's doing it with the worms.
Just because I give him a Aidan Gillen sort of accent.
Just because I put spiders in there for you, Declan.
That's creeping me out. It's the Aidan Gillen thing.
Yeah. That's
Aidan
it.
Gillen, ever-changing accent. You notice you are by that person's house.
I think Gray instinctually goes to run, but is kind of like running away, as in like they're kind of like fast walking, but they kind of can't stop themselves from looking at the house. And it's like, no, I'm running away because that's dangerous, that's spooky, that's creepy, but also, are they trying to help me? Who is
something
this person?
there? Something
What is
going on?
this?
Yeah.
And I think it's a curious, like kind of swift walk away.
Yeah, because I just don't. I don't know if everybody. I just don't think we're ready to.
No, we're not.
No. I think kind of in the stumbling, trying to get away, curious, but also not ready to deal with that walk. Gray stumbles into Nessie, the barmaid.
Ooh.
Oh, who would be on their way to the river. You didn't go to the tavern this morning.
No, we didn't.
So they say to you, oh, afternoon.
Oh, should you not be at work? Sorry.
Oh, gee. Who are you, Portok? Make the breakfast. Get the water. Pour the drinks.
Sorry.
It's not my bar.
I'm just a little bit... I got a little bit thrown off. Sorry.
How sorry are you?
Well, not that sorry, but I am sorry. I don't mean to upset you further.
Because I could use a bit of help down by the river.
Doing what?
Collecting water
Why?
to wash the floors. What?
Okay, fine. Okay.
You make your way down to the river.
So... nice town. Ish.
Suppose.
You been here long?
All my life. Where are you
Very
from?
boring. Sorry. All over the place, really. Haven't been tied down to one place for very long. You know, just wandered the length and breadth of Galeshire.
Wow.
Yeah.
What's it like?
Well, you should get out and see it.
That's the plan. I'm kind of saving up for a trip.
Oh, really? Where are you thinking of going?
Galeshire.
Oh, the capital itself.
Yes, yeah. Not this year,
A
but
place
maybe.
that'll eat you alive. Yes.
Well, I'm excited. You probably know all about it, but every year since I was a kid, I've been saving up money, and not this year. I don't have enough this year, but next year I'm going to go to the Winter Gala for the King's birthday. Do you want to go?
You want me to go with you?
If you're still here next year, I could do with the company on the road.
I'm still here next year.
Another major interaction, please.
Tabitha.
Tabitha
Oh,
is
yes.
the performer. Where do we think Tabitha
Oh.
stays?
I think she's a nice house, but I don't think it's quite in the village. I think
it's in the
she's
countryside, like,
Yeah,
somewhere.
like she's off a little bit.
Upstream, I think. It's that thing of like there is like a little water wheel.
Yeah, she's a nice little cottage.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
I'm thinking you were down by the riverside,
Mm.
and coming from upstream, you do hear kind of faintly on the wind a melody.
Mm.
And without really much planning in your day, especially not wanting to go back into the village, you wander upstream.
Yeah.
A little bit to yourself, you're kind of humming along. And you come across this house. It's probably the first time, given that you've only been here 2-3 days. You only arrived a couple of days ago, of course. Well, don't just lurk out there. Come in.
Oh, I think maybe we had like climbed up the little hill and we're actually kind of looking out, like away from the house a little bit and over the village. So like, I think Gray kind of spins around. She's like, "Oh, yeah, sorry. Nice little place you got."
Figured it out?
Yeah.
She looks at you like you haven't. Huh. Well, when you do, if you want out, here. It's just out of the path.
And I think they just kind of look at her and they kind of look back down at the village. Or like, if I want out of.
You see the horse and carts making a dash for it?
Yeah.
Yes, so that gives us not long. And then she points up to the southwest. And then this will go. The village will be gone. And the day begins again. You haven't figured it out yet. I'd suggest going back down to the village.
I think in this moment, like, again, the hairs kind of stand up and it's a little bit of like this is creepy, but that's also creepy, and like don't really want to go either way. But at least the village, we have a little home, we have a space of our own, so maybe we just kind of like give a little wave and like a little thank you and just kind of back our way back down. Okay. And I think we're back to that little like fast walk down the hill.
Yeah, you run down the hill, and from the thundering of your shoes, you don't hear, because your heart's racing, your heart bum, 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 until you skirt into the center of town, and you look to where Tabitha pointed, and all goes white.
So I think with almost like these memories as fragments or shards, these loops, these experiences, I think it's almost that thing of like jigsawing them together the way you would a stained glass window and things fitting. I think some of these pieces are starting to make sense as individual things, and you can see them connected where the glass is fused with that, I don't know, is it that type of metal or whatever? Yeah. You can see where they kind of sit and they fit perfectly. You have Dolores and Felix, their conversations with Montgomery and their worry about the ore and hiding some of it, sneaking out of the town. Nessie and this like I got this job working for Partok, and just somebody who's here, and now hopefully with Archibald and the money that's going to come, she'll have a chance to get out and to see the world. We start to see these things, and with all of them, they all hinge on the mine and the iron ore, but there's still nothing to explain the disaster that comes. And the only thing that doesn't fit right now is that trigger, is that sort of why.
Yeah.
And I think for Grey, there's no point leaving it half finished, this stained glass scene. So I think it's as they wake up that morning, clothes on and down the ladder and straight to that house.
You feel your head thumping. Ba-dum, ba-dum, ba-dum. You're hanging upside down, chained to a cobblestone wall. 3 blank, expressionless faces stare at you with pearly white masks, 2 jet black dots, a simple straight line upside down. They're floating, almost circling around each other in your blurred vision. One of them is chanting, humming, waving their hands in the air as arcane energy crackles around them. From somewhere in the darkness behind, a voice says, "Why don't you tell us what really happened?" Give me a wisdom saving throw with advantage.
Why do we let you roll?
Why?
That'd be a 6.
Perfect.
What was the highest number?
6?
So it's an 8, because I think he's got +2.
I do have +2. You hear in your head, "That's not quite right. Why don't you tell us what really happened?" Almost, still not quite there. Why don't you tell us what really happened? Not yet. Why don't you tell us what really happened? That's right. You set the charges. You lit the fuse. You didn't try to help because they were bandits. Barbarians. They threatened the safety of the city. They threatened the safety of your king. Good boy, I think you can let him down. Wipe as much of this as you can and send him to the Temple of Nan to recover from his wounds. The loop begins again. In a place the world has forgotten, lies a small mountainside village known as, if memory serves, it's recently found itself on a precipice with a boom. We're seeing the village small below from the vantage point of a steep mountainside to the southwest. There's a low rumbling. You awake from a nightmare you can't recall. You sense there is something you're forgetting. You can only hope you remember this.
We get up, we have our clothes on.
There's no, it's
We
literally, I think the only thing they grab is that ocarina.
I think it's nearly forgotten. I think
it's
they're
like-
like 1
it's
foot out
so
the door,
turn.
reach back, grab it, and out you go.
100%.
And I don't even think they put it on. I think it's just it's held
In the
their
hand.
hand.
It's
They're
hand.
held in their hand, and like if they can fasten it to something on themselves, they do. It's not put around the neck because that's too fiddly. They just
Yeah.
quickly fasten
Grab
it.
and
onto
go.
them.
Yeah.
Like even kind of a loop in
Yeah.
there, like around a button or something, that just to keep it.
Straight, just slide down the ladder, out the door. Doesn't even, like, I'd imagine the brother's kind of like, "Oh, where are you going? In such a hurry." You know, you're just running out
Where are
the
you
door.
going? It's such a hurry.
Hey, is that Louise? Is that brother Louise?
So they run straight out the door, straight into the town, and straight to the creepy spider's house. We haven't even bothered to learn their name. Straight to the creepy spider's house and
I don't
just
even talk to him enough.
I don't know.
Whatever it is.
I don't think it's an knock on the door. I think
No,
it's
it's-
just
it's
if it
so
doesn't
urgent.
open, we kick it open.
Yeah.
Like we're
Yeah.
coming in.
I cast no.
Yeah.
It's been close.
Grey, what's the matter?
What do you mean? What's the matter? You're the one telling me all sorts of creepy things are happening in this town. What is wrong with you?
You're the matter. That's a little joke.
The grey matter.
It's not funny.
It's
I just got it. Did you just get your own joke?
I guess the joke was funny, but now it's actually AJ's soup brain.
I thought that was
When
you came up with Grey.
Right,
We didn't even.
Yeah,
you
I
didn't
know,
even
it's
throw
weird.
that in
It's a
there.
weird thing.
That's
It's a-
weird. That's
yeah.
weirdly matchy. That's
weird as
really
fuck.
spooky.
Yes, it's very funny.
Oh, he's breaking the fourth wall.
Stop talking to
Put
us
it back
out of
in,
character.
put it back in.
the box.
What is it I can help you with?
What is happening here? What is going on? What is all of this? The same thing every day, over and over, and then it ends. And what is happening?
You're being smoothed over.
Okay, why?
Because what you know is dangerous.
I don't know anything. That's why I'm asking you. I'm so confused.
Well, I've tried to make it abundantly clear.
And this arachnid character kind of and points to the web on the wall. It's just ceiling to floor, side to side, webbing. This is the pattern on the wall behind you. I'll post this on our socials and stuff.
It's very clear. I couldn't make it clearer.
Gray's just saying
Could
they're
you not?
squinting really hard.
Wait, hold on. I was like, I couldn't make it clear.
Can we post that on our social? Here.
You don't have time. Just, you know.
No, we have to figure it out. Shut up, Spider.
Don't give me puzzles and then tell me I don't have time to solve them.
Can I hold it to squint at it?
Oh, the way
No,
to
I've
tell
just
which
gone
way's up
cross-eyed.
is I drew a little spider on the bottom.
Oh, well,
so-
maybe that's my problem.
Yeah, so that's, you're looking at it the right way.
The spider's on the bottom.
Spider's on
Yeah.
the
Oh,
bottom.
okay. Anyway, okay.
Yeah. So you run into this.
I say
thing.
first story, like we take a candle, we have a look, and then
It's he as you take a candle, the person goes,
Oh, careful. Careful.
and flame flickers and the web.
Oh, my God. I'm going to have to start again. Thankfully, I have all the time in the world.
And you see this spider creature just begin to weave another web.
do we at least catch the images before it
You
all goes up?
catch one of them. They're not all that important, to be honest.
Okay.
That was just fun for us at the table.
Yeah.
But also the fact that Grey doesn't, like, looking at it,
Yeah.
it's webs.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
it's that thing, you know, like someone has drawn something and that they know very clearly what
Exactly what it
it
is,
is.
yeah.
I know exactly what that is in there.
Okay, the web goes up in flame, and I
Yes.
think as the spider guy just starts rebuilding and is clearly not engaging, not being super helpful, or as far as Gray's concerned, like that's no help at all. I think they bolt again to the sheriff, maybe, and then do we want to maybe pass
I think it was Dareth we wanted
or
to.
Dareth?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because we wanted to, like, I think he was the other person who we know knows what's going on. Because he
Mm.
talked about the camp to the southwest.
I'll go with the majority Grey,
Mm.
but I think the answers lie with this spider.
Yeah, I don't think we should have rushed out just yet.
Yeah.
We don't have to. I'm happy to
Um,
stay behind and keep trying.
If that last time we were running away and some part of us wanted to stop and
Mhm.
it was a walk away, then
And then this part
it's-
stops us.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think
this
it's
time
at
we
the door,
do.
and now it's I think as we go to leave, they turn around. I think no, enough. I don't know how many times I've
Good
done
morning.
this.
And you see the webs behind them.
Speak plainly. What is happening? I cannot make sense of this. As intricate and as wonderful as the piece you have made, I do not understand what you are trying to show me.
I can't tell you what you don't know. Everything that comes out of my mouth has to come from you, Gray. So I can't help you.
I think this Grey is thinking, why me? Why does it have to come from me?
All I can show you is what you already know. But if you can't see it, there's nothing I can do.
I know there's an avalanche. I know so many people are going to die. I just want to know how to stop it all. And I think in saying that, maybe in the webs, suddenly Tabitha's house and her become a thing.
You look to the webs, and in loop and loop before, it has just been wall to wall white, like an avalanche barreling towards you. But now, as your mind is racing, wrestling with itself, you're trying so hard. Wait, this isn't the latest loop. This was an earlier loop. This is when you knew the truth. You're in an earlier loop, and you knew the truth then. And you cut to the last loop, and it's all muddled. We cut to the earlier loop, and you see Tabitha's house as a way out. You see it shrouded in hedges and privacy and overgrowth. You remember spending days there, little by little, piece by piece, with what small part of magic that you had, hiding it.
Oh, you fucking asshole. Sorry, that's a compliment.
That's if anyone knows, Tabitha knows. But you can't ask Tabitha, because you're not in now. You're in then. And you're not there. You're not here. You are plunging through the river under the prison in the city of Galeshire, holding onto a bag filled with an air elemental. And it's that cold. It is that cold that shocks this memory, and it's gone. And you're back in the house. And it's webs, and it's confusion, and it's muddled.
I think... Can I ask for something in the webs? Can I...
Sorry, can I go on the web and ask something? I could ask Jeeves.
I think what Gray is thinking about is about Dareth. And do I see him leave town? Can I picture him leaving town on the way to the southwest? The guard captain who's going to set all this off, or who's going to be part of this? Because
that was in one of our loops.
But I still want to know who was involved. I still want to know who in the town actually survives this. I want to know, do any of them survive this? Who knows what's going on, who knew it was going on, and who was trying to get it out?
You go to find Darth. You can picture them so clearly. You've seen them every day for the last how many times this has gone over in your head. In fact, you know exactly what they do every morning. They wake up and they check their tools, and they make sure all their equipment is there, and they look at themselves in the mirror and say, today's going to be a good day. And you remember that conversation, but you don't see it from Gray's perspective. You see it from Darth's perspective. Darth was... And you look out of the house and you just see a shadow moving through the town, observing people, checking their movements, seeing who's moving and where, and seeing if there's anything about this town that's in any way what you've heard about it, which is that it's full of bandits and barbarians. But you know these people. You've spent time with them. You've met them on your way from Galeshire to Visage many times. It's always meant to be secret. It's a secret place. No one's meant to know about this place, because this place has something very important. It has a heart. No, a part of a heart. It has a shard of a heart in a window that no one should ever find. And part of you goes,
they shouldn't be found.
And then another part of you goes,
well, it's not my job.
And then some of you goes,
just protect them any way you can.
Keep them hidden. Keep them safe.
And then you remember, no, you don't. You weren't there. You were here. You were in this town. You used to stay in this town. But you can see your hands in front of the mirror washing your face. And you can see your hands in front of a box full of explosive charging jellies. You can see the town getting covered in snow, but you can also see the snow coming towards you. And the last thing you remember as this sharp pain cuts through you is the shattering of glass and the flying and skittering of one small black shard getting buried.
You've been listening to Lethe, a Romancing the Dungeon Halloween special, featuring Ben as our Dungeon Master, Amber, Louise, Dahi, and myself, Declan, as Grey. You need to check out Cage of Sand from Luciella Scarlett if you're looking for something new around your table for your players, or maybe you fancy dabbling a little in solo tabletop role-playing games. Highly recommend it. For more information on the game and to pick it up yourself, check out the episode description. We're back in 2 weeks' time for another brand new episode. And we're going to find out just what Fia has been up to. We'll see you then. Tender.
You know what, right? I came in here complimenting your play on Fia and like how you play Fia and stuff, so I can't let your head get too big.
You said I was a trash can.
No, I said you were a trauma bin.
Oh my god.
Because that's where Declan puts all of the trauma. That's not an indictment of your character. It's an indictment of Declan's treatment of you, actually.